Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympic. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympic is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.
Social media is evolving. It's more vibrant, more colorful, more energetic, and so are you. It's not just photos anymore. It's video, it's audio, it's subscriptions. And now there's Fanbase, a new monetized social network. Fanbase delivers the complete native app experience with full content monetization for every user. No algorithms that shadow ban your engagement or growth, and no ads. Follow anyone for free and subscribe directly to your favorite creators for $4.99 a month. Plus, show some love by tipping on any post. Also, make a Fanbase page and monetize your content the same way. Finally, connect with your followers by posting the amazing content you already create. And now, get paid for it. It's time to energize and monetize, because everyone's a fan of something and everyone has a fan base.
Why do I do what I do? You know, my life coach asked me that a few years ago. And she said, Tony, what's your why? And I told her, and she said, girl, you've already accomplished that. Perhaps you need a new why.
Hi, Tony Harris, Amy Hoydu with Say It Said Marketing, one of your students. And just wanted to say thank you, Tony Harris, for spending so much time with me and giving me that boost in my business that I so drastically needed.
My why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource. I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. That's what I do best.
So, first thing you got to do is show up. And speaking is a way to magnetically attract your ideal client to you. How many of you use social media that way? Absolutely, and this is how you look to the world. Drastic steps are the steps that are needed to be successful. And my business is drastic denotes a mindset. Getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that you don't necessarily feel comfortable doing, want to do, but you know it's a necessary step to be successful in your business.
I get the most satisfaction when I see my connections flourishing into relationships long after I am gone.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Augustine with Media Jasmine, and I've joined several networking and referral groups in the area. And Network in Action Northeast Houston with Tony Harris Taylor is one of the best organizations that I've joined.
I love that piece of what I do, and it is what fuels my fire. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Tabitha Russell. I am your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our first speaker is Coach Kim Williams. She is an international leadership strategist and thought leader coach. As a coach, she develops you and your staff so that you can enhance your retention rate. She's a lifelong student of the Kingdom of God's principle of business, and has been coined as an organization's heaven. She uses emotional intelligence and mission mapping to curate results that grossly increase your earnings. Her life's passion is providentially analyzing and organizing your mission statement and processes to equip your company with the tools that keep you at the front of the line in your niche. I present to you Coach Kim Williams.
And good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here with us on today. I'll leave you with Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yes. As you all heard, I am Coach Kimberly Williams. I am an emotional intelligence expert. When they call me coach, they are referring to the way that I push, pull, and encourage you and your business to thrive. I am the CEO of none other than the Proper Perspective 360. It is an emotional intelligence firm where we go into your C-suite and we elevate the way that you retain your employees. We leverage the way that you communicate as leaders. and we assist in the intergenerational conflict resolution. I don't know about you, but have you ever been in a setting where the elder and the youth seem to be at each other's throat? It seems as if all of that energy is pitted against all of the wisdom in the room. And so when we come in to train your teams and your staff, we support your ability to bridge your solutions. So I want to have a conversation with you today. The conversation is surrounding elevating the way that you do business with emotional intelligence. And I'm very excited about it because for the last 12 to almost 15 years now, I have been exercising my ability to uphold a standard of emotional intelligence. And did you know that almost 90% of the business world does not operate in emotional intelligence? That means that if you have any sense of emotional intelligence, you're a part of this significant group called the 5%. And that 5% basically sets the tone and the pace of their atmosphere. And so I want to teach you and talk to you a little bit today about how we can ignite that even further so that your team can flourish. And yes, the one who has the most tenure to the one that just came on as the newbie in the team can operate strategically in a way that will cause you to retain your best leadership while growing and developing the new leaders who have come on to be a part of the organism that is called your Black-owned business. And I'm just so excited to have these sorts of conversations. Usually here in the great state of Texas, when we talk about businesses, you think of Texas as the hub for all of these new headquarters for the big, large corporations. They are coming into Texas and they are finding land and they are hiring within our geographical location. And then what you'll see is because we are the state that we are, we have an entrepreneurial spirit. That means that we like to take ownership of the things that we do. We like ownership of our time, ownership of our capabilities, and we like to have ownership of our intellectual property. I don't know about you, but when someone comes into your business and they have an owner's mentality, sometimes it doesn't gel well with the team mentality. And so I want to help be that bridge. And let's go ahead and start igniting this conversation right now so that we can see how emotional intelligence creates a bridge that is, or I'll call it like a ladder from where you start to where your outcome or the end result that you were looking for. And what is that end result? You want the top tier premier employees, right? Working for you, the experts, that 5%. You want them on your team. You want them in your business. And I want to show you how not only to get them, but how to retain them. And we're going to have that conversation today. So without further ado, all right. So we talked about the fact that 15 years, right, we've been doing this. And therefore I've been working within a corporate setting, the nonprofit corporate setting, and even the boots on the ground nonprofit setting. I've gone over to the small business place where now it's kind of what you would consider a mom and pop, even though they have at least 50 employees. And I have seen some of the same exact challenges and opportunities within all of these sectors. And so it told me that this is not a business problem. This is a human opportunity for us to grow. And so when we are thinking about the challenges that our business faces, first of all, you're not alone. And number two, there is a solution. And so to me, I have found over these years that emotional intelligence has been the largest, most helpful strategy for these owners, these directors, these team leads to be able to keep the creme de la creme, right? The top of their class. You want them to be engaged. You want them to promote and to represent your business the way that you see it. Last time we talked last month, we talked about how the business is your baby, right? And the CEO, you hold on to it, it's yours. You've been growing it for so long, and you really don't, it's very difficult to relinquish it. But I know that if you had, and you felt that you had capable staff, if you felt that the people that operated within your teams were that 5%, that you'd feel so much better taking the easy road. And what does that easy road look like? Again, ownership of your intellectual property, ownership of your capabilities and where you place them, and ownership of the most important factor, the thing that we could never get back or replace, and that's time. So, what does that look like? How does emotional intelligence assist us in doing this? And in what ways can you incorporate that in the descriptors of your business's ordinances or principles and precepts in which you operate, and the descriptions of the roles that you have for your Black-owned business? And why am I talking about your bare bones like this? It's in the bare bones that it matters the most. We can always tell a person how we want them to conduct themselves, and we can always show them and lead them as what we would consider by example. But if we don't have a foundation laid out for them, a mind map laid out for them so that they can know what is expected of them, why it's expected of them, and the climate in which is the result of that expectation, then is a very rare opportunity that we'll see it actually come to fruition. So a mind map or a strategic map is just that: your policies, your descriptions, the compliances that you expect, and the roles and responsibilities of your employees. The bare bones. So let's get into it, okay? All right, so when you have a person who is that entrepreneurial mentality, right? They like to know what they're getting themselves into. And I know you tell them, well, I'm hiring you on as the director of education, whatever that may look like for your business. And let's say the director of education is the person who you presume will create curriculum for you, connect you to, and be the liaison between other educational institutions, and bridge partnerships for your Black-owned business. But let's just also say that's not written within your policy. And the way that they do it hasn't been described in what their responsibilities are. And so, because they have a mentality of ownership, they've created this whole way of doing things, and it doesn't necessarily, I'm going to use a urban term, it doesn't jive with the way that you see your business going. Not because it's wrong, but it's just not a part of your system. It's something new. It's something different. It's something that you have never tested. And so, since it's not a tried and true system for you, you began to diminish this director of education's abilities to go forward and do that which they are fully capable of doing. And how do I know they're fully capable? Because you hired them on. So since you hired them on, you vetted them and you run the numbers to see not only are they worthy and valuable, but they have value add to the way that you do business. So now, how do we communicate, and how do we retain this employee where there seems to be a gap within the strategies? Do we take on their way and just allow them to be what we consider rogue? I dare say no. And I say no, not because it's not working, but because you can't have 15 systems in your business. And so we have to get everyone, right, on one accord, as they say, in my most favorite place. And so how do we get people on one accord? We give them a manual or an operating system or policy that creates the expectations and it drives their capabilities to the outcome and the results that we have in expectation of. So let's say year end, you have expected this director of education to have brought to you either 4 partnerships or $250,000 worth of business through partnerships for the year. That's the expectation. And so you wrote this down and it seemed real good. And, it seemed like, something that could be tangibly done, but you never told them how. You just told them to do it. And again, we're talking about a situation and an opportunity where the way that they are doing it, it just seems rogue because it's new to you. So then how do you guys have this conversation? What does this hard conversation look like? Where you don't feel like you have to compromise and lay down your baby, and they don't have to lay down their intellectual property and capabilities. Where is the ladder? The ladder that causes you guys to transcend back and forward on this path where you are going in the same direction, getting the same results. Thank you for asking such a poignant question. So we use the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence in order to do that. What are these 5 pillars of emotional intelligence? They are as follows: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and social skills. And I know you're thinking, how did this become about me? Why is all of this the way that I have to conduct myself in reference to an issue that I might be having with my employee? How is this a me thing? How is this about my ability to be aware? Another strong question. Thank you. When we are looking at the actions of another person, they are normally filtered through our understanding. And so we have to be self-aware enough to recognize what that filter looks like. Have we ever been a director of education? Have we studied what that role would bring to this business or any business? Have we ourselves gone out to get partnerships and so therefore we have experience and knowledge? And if so, now, how do we regulate our information in a way where now we can train in that manner? So self-regulation says, now I do have this information, I have this expertise, I have this wherewithal about myself. I looked at their capabilities as a candidate. I brought them on. I do see results from what they're doing, right? So I am self-aware. And so now I'm going to regulate. So I'm not angry at the results. I'm not angry at their abilities. I just see that there is a gap in the way that I want the systems run within my business and the way that they are handling this side of the business. So now I have to consider, how do I communicate this? Communicate this in a way that not only elevates their esteem, their value, and highlights their capabilities, but also reveals to them opportunity because there is a way in which I am used to seeing it done that they may not necessarily know exist. And then I want to yield so that we can have an open discussion, right? Because when we have a hard conversation, we are leaving space to listen and understand. Not only listen, but listen and understand it. And that is where pillar number 3, empathy, comes in. So, how can I empathize with this person and what their background is, and their expertise, and their experiences, and the results that they've been able to yield forth? How do I empathize with this in order to trust the process of their strategy? And then, how do we sit down together and make a plan so that it works for the betterment of the organization? Motivation. And what do I mean by motivation? I mean exactly what it sounds like. What moves this person or draws this person to the actions that they are taking? Are they drawn to these actions based on the same end result that I desire? Or do they have an altogether different motive? If it's the first and not the latter, now we have a foundation in which we can build upon. And because I am socially aware, I don't knock the way that someone is doing something, because I've heard them in an empathetic manner and we've sat down and we've looked at the motive of this person. Now we write out a vision and we make it plain and we add and we take away based upon both of our expertise, and voila. We have a person who is now on the same page or in the same understanding as to how we can strategically move forward in our business along the path that I see fit for us to grow. And a lot of this emotional intelligence to enhance your retention, your leadership, communication effectively, right? And the way that your intergenerational employees communicate not only with yourself, but with one another. It's about respect. And sometimes we fail to yield to what I call just a regular, everyday respect. Okay. And so that retention, right? That's my first one. And retention is a very hard a hard pill to swallow when it comes to our businesses. And I don't think we understand just how expensive it is to have to hire out consistently throughout the year. All right. And so one of the things that I want to put into perspective for you is the ebbs and flows of seasons or the year. And so there are different times within a year that individuals operate at their optimum level, and times where they are at the least of themselves. And it's not because of anything external per se, but it's an internal makeup. And this is where that human piece that I was talking about initially comes in. Because it's important for you as a CEO, as a team lead, as a director, to check in on the health, the mental, emotional, social health, physical health of your employee. So not only do we create strategy, right, with our policies, with the way that we operate, our roles and responsibilities, making sure the foundation is laid plainly, and then having those hard discussions with employees based on the notions that are put within our compliances and our codes and compliances, but then also that human aspect where we are yielding ourselves to understand what they may be dealing with, what time of the year it may be, and how we can best service them. So let me give you an example of that. Right now, we are in the year-end, as I call it, holidays. And the year-end holidays consist of a lot of family time, a lot of time to that digs into our finances as well. And that can be a burden and it can be cumbersome on your employees. And if you are a person who does not have challenges in that way, whether it's finances or family, right? Your family is right there. Your finances are all in place because you have multiple streams of income. Then you may be kind of on the outside of an understanding of what that person may be experiencing and how that could possibly affect the way that they show up for your business. And so I just want to bring a little bit of emotional intelligence into dealing with seasonal issues so that we can consistently retain our employees and we can continue to communicate with them without you having to take on the burden of their responsibilities and or their emotional placement in life, as well as you can expect a development and a growth within them as you are still running a business. And a lot of times during this time of the year, this is where a lot of sales come in. There are a lot of partnerships that are trying to be developed and growing within this season, as well as the planning because of the new year and the way that we operate within our United States system surrounding the new year. And so, what do you do as the CEO when your client, or excuse me, when your employees are having a cloudy year-end holiday time? What do you do? How can you help them? What are ways that emotional intelligence can assist you in strategizing with your teams so that they flourish during this time and not drown within their responsibilities in your business? And so let's talk this through, okay? All right. And so when you have an employee who they haven't told you, you guys have not had this discussion. You normally through HR policies, we don't ask specific questions, demographical questions when we are hiring employees. Some things we learn along the way just through casual conversation. And so then we have an understanding of where that person is in life, what their responsibilities are within their own ecosystem. And we need to have those conversations, whether it's us or our team leads, so that we have a greater understanding of that person, because they're a person, they're not just a title. Right. And so one of the ways that I have seen it done, which I think is a beautiful way, is basically there is a things you like, things I like, things that make me happy list. And so it lists off these things, whether it's family, food, travel, colors, music, cars, gifts. And so you ask all these questions at the top of the year. And so you have this information that you can now understand because they'll answer, right? Who's your favorite sibling? Who's your favorite, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite family member? What's your favorite place to travel? What's your favorite food to eat? And so you have all of this information that now you can use throughout the year, whether it's because you're throwing a party or soiree for your group, whether it's because you want to send out greeting cards to their family members or give it to them for themselves and their family. So you want to know if it's husband and wife, or if it's, them and their mom and dad at home, or whatever the case may be, so that you can communicate effectively, right? Because information, data, analysis assist us in understanding. And the more understanding we have, the greater level of communication we can have with those in which we say that we have employed, that work with us, that are a part of our team. And so one of the greatest assets that we can have as a business owner is information. And again, HR causes for us to not be able to ask certain questions. So if you do it in this manner, you'll still have the same information without asking directly within the hiring or interview process. And so you want to get this information in place. And so now throughout the year, you want to strategically show them value based on the information you have gained from this particular strategy or this particular tool. And as you are showing them value, it's because you remembered that their dog is turning 13 on whatever day, right? Or that their dog's name is Brownie. And this one day, they may tell you that there are some things going on. They may communicate in their body language that they're not okay. Now you have a basis to go off of to kind of ask questions and kind of see what it is that that person is either experiencing and how you can be, again, that ladder that assists them, not the dumping ground for them, but the ladder. When you are the CEO, because you are self-aware, because you are self-regulating, because you have empathy, because you have motivation within yourself for your end goal, and you are socially aware, you do not become the dumping ground, right, for your employees. So create a system within that says after the first 30 days, I send out this who are you or what are your favorite things list. I get information about you, and then I use this information throughout the year to add value to our relationship and to show you how much I value who you are as a person while you work for me. So we have talked about two very strong ways that you can use emotional intelligence to retain your employees, to assist them when they are dealing with the year-end holiday blues. Also, when you are having conflict within the way, right? Conflict resolution. So when there's conflict within the way that an employee is showing up and the strategy and formulas in which they are using, and to be able to get that hard conversation in place so that you all can get on the same page. Those are the two things that we discussed. And then there is one more aspect that I want to talk to you about, and it surfaces around what we talked about originally, which is the intergenerational communication, conflict resolution, intergenerationally. And I talked about it a little bit before because I told you that it requires respect. And so let's look at how intergenerationally we can be the ladder so that we can keep young and wise individuals operating within the same mechanism or organism that is called our Black-owned business. So as we are growing and we are either, whether we've been in business for 10 years and someone has been with us that entire time, so now they're tenured, and then we bring on a fresh person who is not only young, but they are capable and they're hungry. And we bring them into this system where this elder has always done it, always this way. And so now there seems to be conflict within the way that they communicate with one another, and it's showing up in the results that we are getting as a team. And so it's hurting us as a business. And so how do we deal with this without losing our young, fresh, hungry, driven individual, and without losing our wise, capable, faithful, reliable individual at the same exact time? And how does emotional intelligence help us do this? Y'all have been asking the most amazing questions this entire time. Thank you. Okay, so how do we do that? First, we use awareness. What have we set in place that makes the elder comfortable and the young person comfortable? We have to be aware of that. Now, we have to regulate if the ways that we've made each of these individuals, these parties comfortable, causes the conflict. What do I mean by that? I mean, this person is your aunt. And they can call you at any time of the day, but the new person is your nephew, and so you son them or talk down to them because of their age. They may be college aged or whatever, and so you talk down to them. You have to be self-aware of this. What are your personal biases? Right? And so now that we have the personal biases, now how do we regulate that? What are some corrections, accountability that we can make that causes our culture to shift? Because again, you're that 5%. You already operate in emotional intelligence. So that 5% controls the atmosphere. Okay. And so now that I am aware that there are some biases that I may be having because this person has worked faithfully for me, so they can come in a little later, and my expectation of this young person is to prove to me that they're worthy, right? Now I have to make some shifts. I have to be accountable for that. And then I have to be empathetic to understand that these are individuals. And my aim is not to pit them against one another, but to create a mechanism where they can, in a system where they can work alongside one another. So how do I strategically show the strengths and opportunities of both of these individuals without revealing too much personal information about them? The best way to do that, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. Parents can put their kids in a shirt it's called the timeout shirt, or we got to get along shirt. So it's one large shirt, and one person's arm is on the left, the other person's arm is on the right, and they have to sit in this shirt very uncomfortably in order to figure out how to work together. Something like that. Okay. So this tool is the I am going to get along project. And so this project is intentionally highlighting the strengths of both parties while causing there to be revelation of the necessity for one another. There are always opportunities within your business where you can find placement for them to have to work together in order to bring to you, right? Because you're the one that they're trying to appease, bring to you the results in which you're looking for. Now, that's causing you to use not only empathy, but then you're also using the motivation. You're checking their motivation. If they are here to work with me, they will figure this out. If they want to stay on and they want to work together, they are going to learn the strategy to get along in this we got to get along shirt project that they're in now, right? And then lastly, socially, they're going to learn how to handle and deal with whatever their differences are respectfully, because they're in an environment in which causes for them to have to continue to have a bridge of a level of respect with one another. So I hope that you have heard within this conversation how Perspective 360, the emotional intelligence firm, can assist your Black-owned business with retaining your employees, communicating effectively as leaders, and then also with the intergenerational conflict resolution. I have a training that I have coined the long game. And this long game workshop training is a package deal where we go from the beginning of your policies to the end result that you're looking for in the long run. So we'll talk about what that 5, 10, 15-year success plan looks like for your organization or your Black-owned business. And then we will put in place the strategies and the tools necessary, because we're not punishing our employees. We are building and creating ladders for them so that they can develop and grow and be hungry and be consistent, because we like individuals that have an entrepreneurial spirit. That entrepreneurial spirit means that they take ownership. People who take ownership are blessings to your business. Why are they blessings? Because they value their time, they value their capabilities, and they value the intellectual property in which they bring to your business.
Wow. Can I just say that you have shared such amazing information here on today. This is so exciting. Thank you so much, Coach Williams, for sharing with us about leadership on today. I am just so amazed by the information.
Thank you. And if you guys would like to find me on any platform, you can find me as Coach Kim with 2 M's, or you can go to my website. It's coachwithkim.org.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us on today. I will leave you with Genius's comment, and I'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below. That's $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We also want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for April 2023. And that is NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Rich Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, Margie McLean Foundation, Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melaine Chennai Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA, and Genius is Common. And I'll see you on the other side.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first US-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect US Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
I am from Washington, D.C., but I was raised in Durham, North Carolina. I came to Durham when I was about 5 or 6, and then I traveled back and forth to D.C. because it's where my people are from. One of the unique things about my family is my mother, she's also an artist. She does quilting, and she does a lot of artistic things. And then my son, he draws with both hands, his right hand and his left hand, like I do. So that's kind of a family trait. And then my other son, he's a videographer, and my daughter, she works, she's a regional vice president for Sunglasses. When you start out drawing and sketching, you want to continue to explore, you know, each avenue. I do pastels, I do pen and ink, I do painting, I do acrylics. I haven't done oils yet, but I try to do all facets of art. What I say to a lot of times to people is, you know, you can't put yourself in a box when you're an artist. You have to explore. And over the course of my life, I've tried to explore different mediums. I also do sculpture as well. I choose my subjects by the intensity that they have in their faces, or the intensity that somebody is moving, because I do more than portrait drawings. I also do I do abstract, and then I do figurative drawing also. Well, what happened in this particular show is that I started out trying to come up with something that would be a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I was working on a Barack Obama show, and they wanted me to do some paintings of Barack. And so what I did was, because of the deadlines, I kind of did it kind of fast. And then I realized when I was doing it fast, I enjoyed it. And so then I started doing other pieces the same way, and I started to enjoy those pieces also. And so I came up with this particular style, and it's a style of lines and colors. And what's interesting is that when I was in college, I did a show called Lines, Colors, and I talked about the boldness of the blacks, the hotness of the whites, and this is how this has come about, later on in my life. And the colors comes from a lot of the entertainers that I work with, where they wear different colors. They don't wear, your plain reds or your whites. They wear different colors, and so that's also another piece of what's giving me the colors. The subtitle of this show is Faces That Speak Life. That's real critical. Faces that speak life. Each one of these pieces is a life source and a life energy that's being put on display for people that are looking at them. I always say in terms of my art, it's not important that I draw them. It's important what you get out of what I draw. I don't try to just draw it because you like it. People wanted me to do prints. I didn't do prints. People asked me to do different people, but the people that I choose are people that make a difference in the lives of people in the world. So the human landscape idea was, again, as I say, the lines represent your emotions, it represents your ideas, and it represents your journey as a human being. And that's why you get the different pieces and the different looks. And as you notice, I try not to do one look that looks alike another look. And that's what's the most important part of this show.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. It explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there. Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dreams by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaving, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Tabitha Russell. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Ansel Butler. He is a progressive and innovative artist that is originally from Omaha, Nebraska. As a young child, his parents knew early that he had a significant connection to art and creatively, but were unsure of how the path would or should manifest. In an effort to foster their son's creativity, they decided to locate ways to grow his natural ability for what he loved by placing him in several art competitions at an early age, as well as including him in an after-school art program held by the Jocelyn Art Museum. Being involved in programs and competitions proved to be a turning point and a guide for what Ansel would do and become in the future. Welcome. I now present to you Mr. Ansel Butler.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank
Hello.
you.
Yes, you're more than welcome. And I'll leave you with Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. How are you doing? One of the things that has always been very important to me is representing my family, my mother, my father, my siblings, aunts, uncles, individuals like that. And I think that it's very important for you to have that background where what you're doing has a purpose, being intentional. Being intentional is very important because you have to have a beginning and you have to have some sort of ending. And with that, I think that it's very important for you to have just kind of a dynamic where you know where it is that you're going. From that, my parents owned a black pest control business that operated out of Nebraska and Iowa. And we were the first of our kind. And in that space, what I did was I was able to learn what business looked like. And so at 14 and a half years old, my parents had taken me to Kansas City, and we ended up going to a place called Worlds of Fun. Just think of it as a Six Flags, right? And going there was this guy, it was a white guy who was airbrushing, and I had never seen airbrush before. And so I'm right there on his left side while he's airbrushing, and I'm like, what is that? You know, what's that machine that's down there? And I was really curious about what that was and how that became. And so we went back to Omaha. Omaha is 2.5 hours away from Kansas City. And when we went back, I went to the library because that was the internet for us back then. And so I started looking up airbrush and airbrush guns and everything that had to do with those things. And so I was able to save some money up. And I went to this place called Dick Blick's, which is an art supply store. And they had airbrush guns. And so I found out how much it was, saved up my money, and I purchased the gun. And then from there, I realized that I needed a compressor, and I had to find one. And I located a compressor at a pawn shop, Four Aces pawn shop. And you have to realize I was 14 years old and doing these endeavors. But seeing my parents and seeing them create a business taught me a lot. And so by the time I was 14 and a half, in Nebraska, you could have a driver's permit. So I had a permit. I was doing the airbrush business by this time and making a decent amount of money. I was in the clubs. I would wear the airbrush shirts, pants, hats myself. And so I was advertisement for my business, essentially. And in that particular space, what I ended up doing was making connections in spaces, in clubs, and things of that nature. And so it allowed me to really blow my business out. So motorcycle groups, things like that, just families, whatever, cheerleading groups, everybody wanted the airbrush stuff. And so what I was able to do was monetize that. And this is important to my story. We had a porch on the front of the house, rectangular, porch door, front door. And then there were two swings on either side. And they had drapery that took them down to the ground, so you couldn't see under them. That's my point. And so initially I was doing the airbrush down in the basement, which is where my room had got moved to. We had built a drywall block off for me to have a room in the basement, but there wasn't really good lighting. And so at night, and around 11 o'clock, I would get up after my homework or my chores, and I would go out to the porch, and I would actually work out there. I muffled off the compressor in a box with pillows so that it wouldn't wake my parents. And I was doing all the work late at night, really good lighting overhead. And one day my mother ended up coming out to check the mail. And I had left a pair of jeans out just a little bit. And she saw them and she grabbed them. And then she looked under the balance and saw that there were tons of jeans up under one of the actual swings. And so she started pulling all this stuff out, and she called my stepfather, and she was like, you know, he's stealing jeans. I think he's going out and he's taking this stuff. And so my stepfather comes to me and he's like, okay, listen, you know, we found these jeans out on the porch, and we're curious about why all of these jeans are out here. Are you stealing? I said, no, sir. I said, you know, I'm doing artwork. I'm painting them. He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, do you remember when we went to World's Fun? The guy, he was like, you know, I don't remember that. And I said, okay, well, let me just show you. So I started pulling this stuff out, and it was artwork that I had done on the jeans. And so he was seeing that, and he was like, so are you doing this for free? And I was like, no, sir. I said, I'm painting on this stuff, and I'm getting paid to paint. And he said, okay, how are you keeping track of this? I said, I have receipt books. He said, you have receipt books? I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, give me a receipt book. So I went upstairs, and we're talking about the age of carbon copy. Okay. And I go and I get these carbon copies, and I had actually taken carbon copies from my parents' business, blacked out their name, and put Melvin Butler Art. And Melvin is my middle name. And so I'm using their stuff. And essentially, excuse me, essentially what I was doing was taking their receipt books and utilizing those. And so I brought one down, and my stepfather is paging through this stuff. And he says, let's go inside. We need to go inside. And I was like, yes, sir. So he goes, and my mother essentially did the accounts payable, accounts receivable for the pest control business. And back then we had these really large calculators, right? They were really big. And so he goes in, and he's going page by page, and he's doing this. And he was like, this is only 2 weeks, and you've made this amount of money. And I said, yes, sir. He said, do you have more of our receipt books? And I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, go get them. So he said, hold on, where's all the money? And I said, it's under my bed. And so I had rolls of money, and I would have my ones and then my 5s and my 10s, whatever. I have them separated and rubber band. And so I brought all of that down, and he started looking through that, and he said, you need an EIN number. And I was like, what is that? You need a business. You need to create, we're going to create a business for you. And I said, okay, I don't know what EIN is, but he explained that that's actually registering and having a business, an official business. So at 14 and a half, my parents got me a business account and got me an EIN number. And that was the beginning. About 3 to 4 weeks later, my stepfather came back to me and he said, we're going to take a ride. And I said, okay. And so we went to this place in Omaha off of, I think it's like 64th and Ames in Omaha. Anybody that's from there would understand that. It's Leola's record store. It was right across from a liquor store, actually, Sugar Hill liquor store. And my stepfather took me in, and I knew Leola because I bought records from there. It was the place to go if you wanted Black music. And so went inside, and he was like, you know, my son. And she said, I do. And she was like, come on. And we went all the way down. Bathrooms were over on the left-hand side. All the records were right there on the left, but she had this long counter, and we went to the end of the counter. And I had never even been that far down. There wasn't a reason for me to. And there was a door to the left. And Leola opened up the door, and my stepfather took me down, and Leola followed us. And there was this basement. And it was very dark, but it was a workspace. And this was the beginning. I get really emotional about this because it's one Black business that is connecting with another Black business to create a Black business. And that was the start. That was the start for me. And that was my first office, 14 and a half years old. I had a car. It was Monte Carlo, 73 Monte Carlo, that I was given permission to drive. And eventually I ended up driving my sister's Volkswagen. I forgot what vehicle she got into, but it was a white Volkswagen. And I would drive that up to Leola's. And I would go in about 7, 8 o'clock before they closed down. And I would go down into that basement and I would airbrush all night. 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And sometimes I would come out and the liquor store would be open across the street, or it wouldn't be. But the owner of that liquor store knew what I was doing. No one else knew what I was doing. And Leola, in her wisdom, she said, every night when you come out, I want you to take the vacuum cleaner and some cleaning supplies, and I want you to sit them by the door. And I was like, well, Miss Leola, why do you want me to do that? She said, because I'm protecting you. We are literally across the street or in the same parking lot from a liquor store. And so one night I was coming out, and there were these gentlemen that were out there, you know, older guys, and they were, you know, were like, what are you doing? And that's when it hit me that she was protecting me. She was like, listen, you need to be the person that's cleaning up. You don't have any money. You're not doing anything but making sure that the place is clean, and that you're the maintenance person, or you're cleaning up, whatever. And so, you know, I came out and they were like, what are you doing? I was like, I clean the place. And at the door, as Leola wanted, you know, you have the vacuum cleaner. So they saw that, they looked, and they understood. And then even the owner of the liquor store would come out, and he pushed people away from me because I was a little kid at that time. The thing that I'm saying with this is Black businesses supporting each other, supporting entrepreneurs, young people. Anything that you want to create, you can create. Anything that you want to do, you can do. It's incumbent upon you to take that on as an individual. You have to want it. You have to have the design and the desire and the know-how and the research. You know, my second iteration of my business was unlimited design. And the mantra that we put behind that, or that I created behind that, was because the design is only limited by your imagination. That's why it's unlimited. And so having an understanding of what you want to do, having an understanding of where you want to go and how you're going to structure that, and what sometimes you don't even know what the limitations of your business are. And that's great, because you don't really have any limitations until you run into those roadblocks. But those roadblocks are just steps. They really are. I think it's important to understand that everything is not going to be beautiful, but everything is an opportunity. You have a pure opportunity to learn, figure out what you're going to do, and really be focused on the next step. Because there's a step after that, and a step after that. There's a roadblock, there's a stoppage. And these things, I truly believe that they're opportunities. Opportunities to learn, opportunities to grow, opportunities to do and to be. Because at the end of the day, it's important for you to have a business, but it's really important for you to have a Black business. There's so many stoppages that are out there for us as minorities and colored people. And it's really important for you to understand that there's a way to supplant or get around that. But you just have to put the work in. That's the key. Why give up when you don't have to? Why stop when you don't have to? You're given these opportunities. You're given these roadblocks. Roadblocks are an acknowledgement of who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing. So at the end of the day, it's important to see that these things are there, or sometimes they're put there intentionally to slow you down, but you can't let them slow you down. They're motivation. They're motivation for what you're going to be. It's preparation as motivation in those dynamics. And so understanding that, that's acknowledgement that you're creating something that people see. That's the most credible thing. And these things are life or events or things that are happening within the space that you're creating that presents themselves. And these presentations are things that build you into something that you're supposed to be. And that's the credible piece about it. Don't give up. Listen, pay attention, learn, acknowledge, and build past. I used to always tell my daughter, Kayla, listen, what did you learn from your experience? How did you grow from that experience, And it's really important that when you hit a wall, that you figure out whether you have to go through it, around it, over it, or under it. But you got to get to the other side. And that's the most important thing, is that these things, they will happen, but you, as an individual, you have, or as a group, or as a company, you have the ability to get through it, because it's there because you exist. That thing came into existence because you presented yourself at that moment as someone who could create, build, or be, as an entity, as an individual, as a corporation. And these things have to come to you, because you're never, ever going to be in that space until you're in that space. And let me make sure that you understand where I'm coming from. If you're not there at that space and at that time, if you're not existing at that particular time, if you don't have what it is that you gathered and created, then you're never really going to have that opportunity to have an issue. Issues are great. It's about you conquering those things. It's about you building something. It's about you creating something. It's about you going around and over and through and getting to the next issue. And then the one that follows that, and then the one that follows that. And those are opportunities. They're opportunities. And so with that, you're sitting back and you're understanding that I've had this opportunity that has come to me. And you can call it an issue, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to be great. It's an opportunity for you to be amazing. And you don't have to show anybody else. A lot of the things that we go through as businesses, Black business owners, as people of color, everybody doesn't know that we're going through those things. But what we're really doing is we're laying the tracks for other people. We're really putting forth an effort, an energy, a dynamic that can help people that are coming up behind us. And that's the true example of like what we're really doing that's important, the work. Because there's plenty of people that are out there that need our help, that need our assistance, that need our guidance. And that's where wisdom comes in. You know, I was having a conversation with a person one time, and they said, "Man, that's a cold statement." And I said, "Well, the truth has no temperature." Because at the end of the day, what is. It's neither good nor bad. It just is. And what we do as people, what we should be doing as people, is we should really be helping, guiding, showing, assisting other people that are out there that are trying to create something. You know, and if they're open to it, give them the game. Because you didn't make it to where you're at. You didn't get to where you're at without someone coming to you and assisting you with what it is that you're doing. When I first saw the guy that was airbrushing in Kansas City at Worlds of Fun, I didn't know what he was doing. He really didn't have a lot of time for me, but he gave me the basic fundamental information that I needed to get to the library. And I had to put forth the effort. I had to catch the bus, go to the library downtown Omaha, and go up in there and try and find this thing that was airbrush. Found it, read as much as I could, very little information. Excuse me, started calling around, finding out who had these supplies and who had these things that I would need. Every step that I took, Bobby Brown always used to say, every little step I take, right? And every little step that I took got me further and further along. I learned about the paints. I learned about the supplies. I learned about cleaning. I learned about all these different things. And I did it on my own. And this thing goes so far as to me going to Omaha Central, which is the high school that I attended. And they had art classes. And I attended those classes and learned as much as I could. Learned to sculpt, learned to paint, learned to draw, everything that I could. I wanted to suck it in. But I was always a student of history. And because of that, and because of the school that I attended before I went to Central, when I was in the 9th grade at that Catholic school, Roncalli High School. So my 9th grade year in the Catholic school was 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I was in high school. But when I transferred to OPS, which is Omaha Public Schools, that was 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I was an advanced student because I already had high school credits from the 9th grade, right? So because history was a class that I always excelled in and I loved, you know, you have history and then you have history. And so I was enamored with this thing. And so art history was something that I studied immensely. And so once I got to Central, I went into the art classes and I was an advanced student because I already had art credits. And so I was able to clef or test through a lot of the art history stuff that they had. And so I advanced very quickly, more quickly than a lot of, you know, my compatriots or my fellow students. And so by the time I was a junior, I was ready for senior classes. And Mr. Andrews was the head of the art department at Central. And they had an airbrush class. will never forget this. They were doing the Star Trek Enterprise, the ship. They were masking it. It was pretty much kind of a art pseudo engineering class. If you wanted to be someone who was doing structure, and they were masking stuff off, and I had never masked anything off as it relates to airbrush. So it was very technical in its structure. And it was just this beautiful, huge, I think it was like a 60 by 40, something like that. And I was like, I want that. I want to learn how to do that. And he would never let me in the class. I had the grades. I had cleft through all of the things. And this was just his kind of way of just pushing me off. And the thing that you have to understand is at Central, no one Black had ever been in that advanced class. And that was the only thing that I wanted. The thing that he didn't understand is that I was already airbrushing. But the thing that I didn't understand is that despite that, he did not want to allow me to have that. So I had to go, I had to look, I had to observe and see and figure it all out that way, and figure out how to get the adhesive masking and learn how to do that at home, which that totally changed my entire airbrush game up. And so I was able to do like helmets now, motorcycle helmets. I was able to go onto leather and put the adhesive on there and mask things off. And it took what I was doing for backgrounds in clubs and things of that nature to a totally different level, to a business level. And so I started having certain organizations, it wasn't a lot, but companies that wanted me to do work. And at this time, I'm in high school, so I'm no longer 14 and a half. And I'm taking these art classes, I'm learning all these things that I didn't learn, and I'm incorporating it. But it's always about business. It's always about conducting your business a certain way. And the one thing that my stepfather and my mother always told me, they were like, the way that people see you coming is the way that they'll perceive you for forever. And so you have to conduct yourself in a particular light. And so one of the things that was really important when I was going into these businesses, these clubs and these bars, was going in and having a business mind, being very respectful, being knowledgeable about what it is that I do, how it does, how it holds up. Any questions that anyone would have for me regarding the context, the paint, how it's applied. There was a place called Big Jim's in Omaha, and the owner, he had a gas station. First, I think he was the first Black owner of a gas station, maybe not, but Mr. Warren. And he had Big Jim's. It was a club. And he had gotten wind of me. He knew my parents, the pest control business, and they fueled up at his gas station. And some kind of way he found out about me. And he reached out and said, I want you to come up. And at that time I was in college. And he said, I want you to come up and look at what it is that I want to do. And so I said, yes, sir, and we met, and he was there, and he basically walked me through what his vision was. And excuse me, I came up with a couple of different concepts. There was this area all the way at the end where we did Big Jim's, and then we did some different stuff. He liked cowboy hats. And so we did some cowboy hats up in there, and, did the whole Big Jim's in cursive. And, I airbrushed that and painted it on the walls. And it was a very long-standing thing that existed in that place. There were barbershops, there were beauty salons that I did. Every background, if you were in Omaha, sometimes if you were in Kansas City, because I had clients there, when I attended Southern University, go Jags, I was in the student center. And back then you did not need a permit. You could just do work. And we had like a barber shop and some stuff like that was there. And I was out there and I was airbrushing. I would try and always have like a 2-hour break period between classes towards the middle of the day. When I wasn't, I was on a sports scholarship. So, when I wasn't running track or playing football, it was going there and airbrushing. And I basically had a wagon. That wagon had all my stuff in it. And I would go to the student union and I would just be out there spraying for the Greeks, just hats, just jeans, just shirts. And, this is how you learn how to create your business and how to structure what it is that you want, how to become what it is that you're going to be as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. This is how you create the dynamics that are existential and important to what it is that you're going to do. This is how you build. And so with that, with my parents, with my family, these are all of the foundational things that really allowed me to become and grow and to expand what it is that I was going to be. And that was a businessman that does art, not an artist, not just a creative person, but a businessman. And the business that I wanted to have was art. To do that, I needed an income. And so eventually I got into corporate America, and I was working in human resources at some point. And every night, pretty much, when I would leave work, I would go home and I would paint until 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'd turn around and go to work. But it was always with the thought that eventually, at some point, I would no longer have this limitation of corporate America, and I would have my own business. And so that was very critical for me. And so in, I think it was 2001, 9/11 happened, and I was in HR, but I was IT, and IT went away. And so there were no jobs in that space. And so a very close friend of mine, Judge Victor Landers, I think Victor was the first Black head of the Bar Association in Texas at one point. He's retired now. But I didn't have a job. I had made really good money, but didn't have a job. And Judge Landers said, you need something to do to occupy your time. And so I ended up getting into law enforcement for a period of time, and didn't like the space, but it taught me some things about life and about us as minorities and how we're looked at within the legal system. And so that was another graduation for me. It was a huge undertaking, and just learning how we're processed, how we're looked at, how we're condemned, and the things, the uphill battles that we have with our lives. And so from there, after 2 years, close to 3 years, I got out of law enforcement and went back into corporate America and was working in the medical field, still HR, but the medical field. And still had that grind. Still just, I had to produce. And so finally, there was a mall. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was, but it was in Dallas. It had come to me, but I got my art shown there, and started to make some money. Art.com, posters.com happened. And I started selling there. And it really gave me an idea of what the metrics look like as it relates to what was selling versus what was not selling. And I followed those pathways to understand what it was that I needed to do based on success, based on what was working for people, what people liked. And that was just a totally different dynamic. And so once I started understanding that, I said, okay, I think I want to start to move around and do shows. So I needed to figure out like how to do that. And I was lucky enough, I had done some local shows at some different spaces in Dallas. And I was lucky enough to meet Evita Tisno, who is an amazing artist. She's hosted out in California, just very, very famous, very amazing person. And she blessed me with introducing me to Frank Frazier. Now, Frank Frazier was and still is pretty much the godfather for art, Black art in Dallas or in Texas. You know, he's the guy. And, you know, I went and met him. It was actually on his birthday. And I brought some of my renderings that were on wood. I like working on wood. I carve, I'll do reliefs, things of that nature. And I'll paint over that. And people tend to appreciate and like that. And so what I did was I brought some renderings over that were on wood. And Frank was like, yeah, you know, I like it. I like your work, you know, but why is it on the wood? Why don't you put it on a canvas? Why don't you? I said, I like the wood. Yeah, but it would probably be better. I was like, I like the wood. This is my design. This is what represents me, and this is what it is that I want. And this is what I want representing who it is that I am and what my name is. My name is my father's name. My last name is my father's last family's name, and so or my family name. And so that's how I'm going to move forward. So if you're going to allow me to come on board with you and tour, I'm doing it on the wood. I'll do stuff on canvas as well, which I did, but I like the wood thing. I think it's dope. He was like, all right, if you want to see if you're going to make it, do shows. Come out on tour. He was like, you got to meet the group. The group approves it. And so there was a meeting.
Wow. It sounds like you have had a long, rich history with art and being in business and transitioning. I love how you explained today on how you pivoted and shifted in so many ways in order for you to be here on today. Thank you so much for sharing all your information with us on today. How is it that people can connect with you?
Ansel Butler Art, that's ANSELBUTLERART.com. I'm everywhere on social media. So if you just Google Ansel Butler, you'll find me. Did you notice that we're like almost wearing the same colors? We're aligned.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, but yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. If you just Google Ansel Butler or Ansel Butler Art, you'll find me. I'm very busy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on today. And I'll leave you with Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Every dollar counts. So you want to be sure that you donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for their generous donations. That's NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Rich Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, Margie McLean Foundation, Inc., Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melane Shania Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
phenomenal Tanya T. Wise, who is here from the great state of Maryland. Tanya, welcome and thank you for being with us today. Can you indulge our audience a little bit and tell them just a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
Well, I love being able to talk to people and have a magnetic attitude, being able to just show them. So I always like to say, level up is Coach at Tanya T. Wise here.
So can you tell our audience, just give them a teaser about what your presentation will be about?
So my philosophy is that we should all be living our dream life. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how you start living your dream life. What are some of the things that you thought about in your childhood that you just kind of let go and dormant?
Wow.
And I want to reignite that and just give you some pointers and some tips, some tools, some strategies to be able to start living your best life now. And guess what, Wanda? And leave an inheritance for your legacy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that's resonating with a lot of people. I've heard that you have a dynamic coaching program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools, we help them implement strategies, as well as give them resources so that they can live their best life now and leave that inheritance.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I love the leave the inheritance part. Listen, you are dropping some major nuggets, and I know a lot of what you're saying is resonating with a lot of people, but I think we're all curious. How did you even make this transition into the speaking and coaching arena? What's the story behind this?
So I started out in finance, and I realized that a lot of people don't necessarily go after their dream life because of the lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it.
If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that?
Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wise.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090.
Are you a forward-thinking entrepreneur or business owner? The world is changing faster than ever, and it's time to pivot and adapt to the future. Hello LLC is here to help you do just that. Hello stands for helping enterprises leverage leading-edge optimizations. Our innovative solutions can streamline operations, reduce overhead costs, and give you a competitive edge in a market projected to reach $5 trillion by 2030. By pivoting to the metaverse, businesses can tap into a rapidly growing market that is projected to be a significant part of daily life for 25% of Americans by 2026. As a full digital metaverse agency, the Hello LLC can help you create custom solutions to streamline operations, increase productivity, reduce costs, and drive brand recognition. Why should you pivot to the metaverse with the Hello LLC? By leveraging cutting-edge technology, you can provide immersive experiences for your customers, expand your global reach, and unlock new revenue streams. Contact us today to make the pivot.
Social media is evolving. It's more vibrant, more colorful, more energetic, and so are you. It's not just photos anymore. It's video, it's audio, it's subscription. And now there's Fanbase, a new monetized social network. Fanbase delivers the complete native app experience with full content monetization for every user. No algorithms that shadow ban your engagement or growth, and no ads. Follow anyone for free and subscribe directly to your favorite creators for $4.99 a month. Plus, show some love by tipping on any post. Also, make a Fanbase page and monetize your content the same way. Finally, connect with your followers by posting the amazing content you already create. And now, get paid for it. It's time to energize and monetize, because everyone's a fan of something and everyone has a fan base.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African continental and country specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish,
Goldie,
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petchworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petchworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Humpton got the love and care they deserved. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Tabitha Russell. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our keynote speaker is Miss Melanie Perry, and she has been helping people create sustainable wealth by making wise decisions for over 2 decades as a certified financial planner. Melanie's passion for financial literacy extends to educating women and kids about the basics of money management through her financial literacy and education company, Zillionaire Enterprises. She is known for making financial concepts easy to understand, which help people to make sound and empowering financial decisions. Welcome today, Miss Melanie Perry.
Here, Dr. Tabitha. It's a pleasure and an honor to always be present for the Black Business Olympics.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us on today. And I'll leave you with Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Indeed. Thank you. So once again, it is a pleasure to be here. I am grateful to always be on this platform to share some information with everyone that is in listening ears of my voice. So today I want to bring it to a focal point of connecting the balance between money and spirituality. We have just gone through a holiday season expressing our gratitude and thanks. And this is a good season, a good time of year to begin to reflect upon the things that we've accomplished over the months, and begin to focus on what's ahead, right? So oftentimes, for those of us who are spiritually grounded, heart-centered, and focused on bringing added value to this world, to our family, our friends, and to this world, sometimes we go through a tug of war between our desires to want more and not wanting to look like those who have a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? This is the Black Business Olympics, right? So y'all know what I'm talking about. And so with this particular tug of war that we encounter when it comes to wealth, when it comes to achieving financial success, it impedes our ability to actually achieve abundance and to be in alignment with our Creator
on the level of abundance. So I'm going to open up our conversation today, our discussion on money and spirituality. So tell me, is this true or false? Money is the root of all evil. Now, if there were comments happening, maybe there are comments, I can't see them, but if there are comments going on, I bet you many of you are saying true, 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 T, 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 T. It's actually false. In Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, it reads, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not just money. Because see, money is actually energy. Money is an outer expression of your energy. You are energy. Our bodies are composed of hundreds of thousands of neurons, which are nerve cells that send and receive signals all throughout our body, kind of like the game of telephone. And they're building blocks for all of a good 70,000 thoughts that run around all in our head each and every day. And using about 100 billion neurons that connect more than 500 trillion points through synapses, which is like a highway, that travel at an extremely fast speed, around 300 miles an hour. So these thoughts are firing away that fast and in that volume. And the signals that travel through these interconnected neurons from the, interconnected neurons composed of our memories, our thoughts, and our feelings. And a good 90% of those thoughts are repetitive. So it's better, I tell people all the time, it's better to focus on the things that you want versus the things that you don't want. So this is why it's vital to condition our thoughts to be on the more fruitful side and make sure that we are creating a thriving environment for healthy thoughts to flourish. So doing things like detoxing our bodies, detoxing our friends, putting boundaries around who we engage with, being mindful of our working environment, whether we own our company or we're in a 9-to-5 environment. While you might not be able to completely ignore your coworker, you can create boundaries and you can create thoughts around that individual in a way where they just don't unnerve you anymore, right? So it's all about creating the right kind of environment and conditions for you to thrive, from those types of environments all the way down to cleaning out our purse, ladies. If you are digging down in that sack purse trying to find your money, you need to organize that in a way where that environment is easily accessible and organized and creates harmony for you. Because at the end of the day, you have to recognize that your thoughts become things. Now, another way to put this is that the basis of our thoughts are our beliefs. And Abraham Hicks is a woman that I like to listen to a lot. She defines it this way: a belief is just a thought that you keep on thinking, and the only things that keep you from who you really are and what you really want are the beliefs which is only a thought that you keep on thinking. So if you keep thinking, I can't, I won't, it's not going to happen for me, it's for them, then those 90%, that 90% of thoughts that are repetitive, that's what keeps cycling your mind. And so that's what deters you and pushes you away from actually achieving the financial goal that you were actually born with. So what we have to begin to recognize and to shift our thinking on is the fact that we are energy. We create our reality through our thoughts, which ultimately become our belief. And so if you believe you can't, You need to start believing you can, so that these experiences become more relevant, not relevant, but more present in your life, and so that God can begin to orchestrate serendipitous events, things that you wouldn't be able to, orchestrate in a way that leads you to achieving that goal on a more succinct and consistent basis. And it's just fascinating how this cycle reoccurs throughout our life. And when you master your reactions to your outer experiences, you'll begin to see your life change for the better. Because the secret is out. As I alluded to, you are born wealthy. By knowing that you are born wealthy, it puts you in a better space to effectively navigate and convert your inner wealth into its outer equivalent. Because guess what? The colonizers and their descendants have had a very good understanding of this fact. And they have got this down to a science to control, manipulate, and dominate for over the past 600 some odd years. Since, I would say, when the Portuguese got going around the 1400s. So with this distorted pursuit of wealth that disgusts spiritually grounded individuals like ourselves, it compels us to kind of repel money and wealth and riches because of how they have really distorted their inner talents and used it in manipulative, demeaning, offensive ways. But money doesn't have to be pursued in a way that in the expense of other people. Wealth, money, riches can evolve out of us in ways that continue to uplift and expand. The very definition of economics is to exchange human capital, meaning our gifts, our talents, and our skills that we were born with, into products and services that we can use. And when done correctly, it's efficient, it's not wasteful or harmful, and adds value to the greater good. When you look at just about every last indigenous society before the colonizers took root, they were living in a harmonious, sustainable, abundant, bellyful environment. And it wasn't until that distorted pursuit of monetary wealth that was devoid of human feeling, shall we say, it was just so selfish, did that pursuit of wealth get distorted. But I'm here to tell you, as a consistent member presenter on Being the Black Business Olympics, we know that we are in the midst of sustainable change to go back to our roots. And given that we are woke, awakening, and learning how we can combine our natural gifts and talents and skills collaboratively amongst ourselves, and then holistically begin to affect change and actually understand their system so that we can master it and then use it to our benefit to affect our power. As we begin to understand that, it's on and cracking, right? The train has left, the boat has shipped out, the planes have launched. We are definitely in the midst of, we're like right at the cusp, the beginning of seeing this change. Now, we may not see sustainable and hard, fast results for another 50 years because some people have to die out. Some people need to be born. So that's why things take a little time. But we're in the midst of seeing a positive shift. And this is actually I should say this, that as we begin to understand that we can't just kind of give away our talents, give away our gifts, that's kind of our natural inclination. We have to begin to understand that it's an exchange that takes place, because the reality is that energy is never created or destroyed. So you can't bring forth your wealth and like not get something back in return. That's just not law. That's not how the exchange works. That's not energy, because energy has to be transformed into something else once it leaves you. So once it leaves you, it didn't like just poof, gone. Something has to come back, to you. So one of the things that I focus on at Zillionaire Enterprises is, not to exclude the men, is that the reason why I focus on women entrepreneurs is that women are more inclined to pass information of wealth down to their children. Not that men don't, I know Dr. Kelly is the founder of Black Business Olympics. So, but kind of just the nature of women, that's kind of how it works. That's kind of what we do. There's a proverb that is attributed to a Ghanaian scholar, Dr. James Emmanuel. I'm not going to jack up his last name, but he was the one that expressed, if you educate, and this is the man saying this, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But when you educate a woman, you educate a family, a nation. And so as we improve individually in all domains of wealth, from our mental healing, our physical healing. So mentally, we're seeking counsel through therapy now, which is great. Physically, we're not eating chitlins and hog mugs and all of that. We're becoming more conscious of the food that we put into our body. Spiritually, we are becoming more aware of connecting our spiritual journey with our religious beliefs. Relationally, we are being mindful of the people we keep around us and understanding the value of networks and relationships and communication. Socially, emotionally, and financially, as we begin to understand all of these different domains, then we collectively make our family, our nation, and the world a better place. And it takes diligence, it takes consistency to be reinforced through various mantras, through prayer, through meditation, affirmations, and to actually set and reset our mind to align with the right frequency to unlock our wealth. Because some of us are walking around here not even knowing the value that we're providing to people that can be monetized, right? When people say, oh, you're really good at such and such, you're like, girl, that's nothing, right? It isn't nothing. It's something that people value and appreciate about you, and something that can be monetized. So we have to begin to not necessarily penny pinch people to death, so to speak, but be mindful of how we can effectively create a harmonious exchange between what we were born with and what we bring to the world, to make sure that it circles back. And I'm going to share with you all monetarily how that works in a way that is harmonious and in alignment with our spiritual beliefs and our religious beliefs. So our environment, through media, friends, family, social status, living space, workspace, all plays a part on supporting our goals or defeating them, right? So the critical factor to remember is that you have to recognize, you have to know that you are your greatest asset, because your wealth lies from within. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are divine because you were made from the divine. All of those neurons that are zip zapping away all throughout your body is energy. And people who have been able to heal, there's people out there including myself, who have been able to heal their body by simply telling themselves, I am healthy, I am whole, I am healed. When the doctors may have told them, you've got 6 months to live. Now, the doctor never told me I had 6 months to live, but when I was detoxing my body of fibroids, they tell you, oh, well, you got fibroids. Let's wait 6 months and see if they get bigger. What kind of madness is that? So I went through my process to tell myself I am healed, I am whole, I am fertile, I am healthy, and I seek assistance from an herbalist to get God's remedies. And I incorporated that. I began to ground, and 3 months later, actually, I had an exam, and what the 4 or 5 fibroids that I had turned down to one small dime size fibroid, and they were surprised. And I told them what I did, and their mouths just about dropped on the floor. So we know that through God's medicine, through the power of thought, through prayer, mantra, affirmations, we can heal ourselves. We have the power from within to affect those types of changes. And knowing that our thoughts are powerful energy sources. This energy is what makes you unique, being full of endless possibilities. That's why, when you think about the hip hop industry and how really music, Black music, and how other folks snatch it up. Well, we just keep creating more, so it's kind of like, yeah, y'all think you have the, what is not blues, but jazz, now hip hop is worldwide. We just keep creating. We just keep creating, right? Because it's endless. There's endless possibilities. And that's why what's for you, no one can take away. What God has for you, no one can take away from you. Because again, remember that energy is never created or destroyed. It's just transformed. And so money is energy. And when you shift your talents, skills, gifts into its outer equivalent, into a product or a service, the exchange is money. So something that is interesting to kind of note here is that when we think about success, right? Sometimes we're in our business and our business is kind of like a hobby, and we're not really focused on making multiple millions of dollars within our business. So, if I make an extra, oftentimes the goal is to just try to make, $10,000, and we haven't $10,000 a month, and we haven't necessarily put forth the full effort in fully monetizing our skills, talents, and resources in a way that is to its actual equivalent, because we're infinite, right? So we're abundant. So to cap ourselves at an extra 5,000, 10,000 or whatnot a month is stifling. So understand that the measurement of success in business and finance is money, just as the measurement of success in friendships is trust. The measurement of success in spiritual relationships is unshakable faith. And your mental wealth is your reaction to things that you can't control. The measurement of success in your physical wealth is your body's ability to defend health, right? So we have to understand that when we are assessing our success in various domains of wealth, what the anticipated or expected outcome should be. So if we are born wealthy, if we are energy, and to convert that energy into its equivalent outside so that we can now use it in other forms, is the end result is money. In short, you are money, right? You are divine spirit. Money is spiritual. And they're not mutually exclusive. So money and spirituality shouldn't be a fight. You are spiritual, and by you bringing forth the goodness from with you into its outer equivalent is a spiritual process. I mean, just think of the learning lessons you've gone through in your life up to this point, right? Remember, money is a tool. Money is a conduit. It's why it's called currency. Energy that can be transformed into an asset to generate more money or another product or service. That's the circulatory effect, right? Just as energy is in constant flow, even though, um, trying to understand this concept is interesting, because even something as solid as a rock to the naked eye is actually still in constant movement. So I learned this idea of everything is energy when I took an African American spirituality class at Spelman. And later I learned that the science behind the reality that everything is in constant flow is quantum physics. And so it informs us that essentially these particles in a solid state are vibrating from a fixed position. This is how I'm beginning to understand it, at a very low temperature in comparison to particles in liquid, which are moving. They're not fixed to anything. So that's why we can see the flow of water. We can see the flow of even air, the wind blowing consistently. We can see those things because the particles are not fixed to anything to kind of slow that movement down. It's just very fascinating. So again, just understanding the connection between ourselves and our ability to generate wealth on a consistent and regular basis goes like this. So you know that you're born wealthy, you know that you're born with skills, talents, and a unique gift to bring added value to society. Now, once you have put a price on that, and now comes back to you in the form of money, we got to continue this process, continue this circulation. Because ultimately, we're not here to be laborers. We're not here to just work for other people. Okay, we're here to experience the abundance of what God has provided to us on this earth, and to enjoy other people's gifts and talents through the form of products and services, right? Whatever that is, whether you're paying for the service or whether it's just being in somebody's presence, right? It all shows up in different ways. So how this begins to circulate back to us to create financial freedom, which in essence is time freedom, is to, once that energy converts out ultimately into money, we bring it back to us, and we now invest into an income generating asset. Now, what typically happens is we produce, wear ourselves out because we don't understand the full system, or haven't created the full system of financial success. So we have it on one end in being able to generate, but we don't have it on the other end in order to perpetuate. So how wealth is perpetuated in our lifetime and beyond is through income, in short, through income generating assets. So you set it and forget it. You generate it, create the money, circulate it back into an income generating asset. This income generating asset, there's tons of them. Ideally, you want the ones that create guaranteed streams of income. So just as you want to have a diversified income stream within your business, you don't want one source of revenue stream. You want at least 3 revenue streams within your business. And I'm not talking about 3 different types of things where you are making curtains, you make furniture, and then you make refrigerators. That's not what I mean. I'm saying in your business, maybe you're a speaker, you're a coach, and you wrote a book. So those are three different, revenue streams. Okay. So I'm trying to get back to my point here. So we're bringing it in and we're investing. So you want to duplicate that with your personal assets as well, and have guaranteed multiple streams of income. So that could be through real estate. That could be through a product called an annuity. That could be through another type of passive asset, passive business asset, like a laundromat or car wash, or creating an audible, reading audible books is another passive, income stream, because it's a set and forget, and people are constantly buying that audible. So there's digital ways to make it happen, physical ways to make it happen. So whatever your money type personality is, it can all work. Purchasing stocks, can be structured as an income generating asset. The thing is to structure your passive income portfolio in a way where it's truly passive income. The first action step is to set everything up, and then it does what it does. This is how your money begins to work for you instead of you constantly working for it. So we go through a phase of life where we're putting in the energy to generate the money, and then now we begin to put money at work in various forms. And you're going to have different buckets, different pockets, different envelopes, for this. However, it works best in your mind to understand how to organize it. So the first fundamental thing to understand is what? We're born wealthy. So we have an unlimited amount of possibilities of wealth generating opportunities, first and foremost. Never forget that and think less of that. Know your value, right? Then you're going to create effective marketing strategies and streams in order to connect with the right individuals to make that exchange from your product or your service. And as a result of that, that translates into money. We circulate that back, pays our bills, pays for our fun, and then it pays for our future, right? Those basic three categories. So we're paying for our business bills, and that you have two accounts for that. You've got a business account, you've got a personal account. Everything business-wise goes through your business checking account. You want to make sure you're properly structured. That's a whole different conversation, but I'm giving you a 35,000 foot above perspective, right? So you have all that cash flow coming into your business account. Then you're going to take a portion of that out. I like to do it where it's in three buckets, where you take 20% of your business revenue and allocate that into a into a savings account that's specifically for taxes. And then you take 40% of that remains into the business account. We're going to divide that up later. And then the other 40% goes into your to cover your personal lifestyle. Now, when you talk with me one-on-one, we can modify that a little bit, but again, this is 35,000 foot above perspective. So then when we're looking at ourselves personally, then we're going to look at covering our lifestyle, making sure we've got a solid financial foundation set up, making sure that we've got the necessary financial planning objectives met that align with our financial independent goals, aka retirement, our insurance goals, also, focusing on protecting ourselves from our life insurance, disability, health, long-term care, auto insurance, making sure all that's in alignment and in good order. And then making sure that our little ones are in order, that we've got money set aside for them for college if need be, for elementary school, and high school, those types of expenses, but travel, all that stuff is taken care of, right? We have particular allocations, particular buckets, products, and have that money working for us. You don't want 100% of your personal expenses to fall under the business. There's ways in which to make that happen, but you have to be really take really good notes on making it clear of what was business with that, because you can go on a business trip and expense that, and that business trip was also part family, but you need to make sure you handle those types of activities very clearly. There's a whole process in that. You can't just say, hey family, we're going to Disneyland, right? And then pay for it on your business credit card and then write that off, and you didn't do anything business wise. They don't work like that. You're gonna get audited and it's not gonna be pretty. So I say all that to say you don't want everything expensed through your business. You want some things, personal. And then you have your business expenses, right? Okay, so then you have various similar allocations personally to business wise, and your business can also own assets. Your business can purchase publicly traded companies. Your business can have a health insurance plan, a high deductible health insurance plan, so that you can take advantage of the health savings account and deduct that through your business. Your business can have a retirement plan set up, even though as entrepreneurs, we're not going to be retiring, but we want to position ourselves in a way where we're financially independent. And if we wanted to, we can, because we've got some stepping stones and building stones set up. And besides, retirement plans are a tax strategy, whether you quote use the money to quote retire, or not work, at all. So it's we have to be mindful of the tax strategies. Okay, so once we get to a point where we have filled up all these buckets, so our survival is taken care of, our comfort is taken care of, we get to a point now where we can give on a more substantial basis. All along, we've been giving. That's just our nature as spiritually grounded individuals, humans spiritual beings having a human experience. We're going to give no matter what. But now we get to a point where we can give more strategically, because all of our needs and more are met. So now what? This is where private foundations come into play. This is where charitable giving, donor advised funds, charitable giving strategies, charitable trusts become a factor, and we're able to now make a substantial and significant impact in causes and concerns and communities that matter to us most. And it's a beautiful spiritual experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much with all of the
Thank
information
you.
that you shared here on today. I can just say that you gave out definitely a wealth of information. How is it that people can contact you?
Well, I am all over social media like everybody, so you can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram. I was about to say Twitter, but I'm Xing out of Twitter. But TikTok, and at Zillionaire. And Zillionaire, hear my spelling. It's ZEALLIONAIRE. You can find me on any of those channels through that handle.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on today and sharing all of your great information. I will leave you with Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on today. Please continue to support our scholarships. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below, and that's $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We also want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for their generous donations, and they are NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Rich Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, Margie McLean Foundation, Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melaine Chennai Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA, Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso, a new concept in social media. Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed caption. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta, and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World. Business was steady, but then an influx of new four-legged friends changed everything. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients. The only problem, more appointments, meant he needed more space. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers flexible spending limits that adapt with his business. He used his card to furnish a new exam room, and everyone was happy. Built for Dr. Petsworth's business, built for your business, Amex Business.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Hi, I'm Barbara Smith. Genius is common. My genius is executive coaching and professional corporate training. As the master executive coach and corporate training ambassador for the Genius is Common movement, I help business owners craft their stories in such a way that you know exactly what they do, what they have, and what they bring to the table. Many times as business owners, we are asked, so what do you do for a living? And we could be crushing in our businesses, but we're not quite sure exactly what to say in a short amount of time. Well, I help you take those stories that are the reason why you're in business and why you're so passionate about your business and craft them in such a way that people are drawn to you as opposed to being repelled by you. Because every conversation, every time you talk to someone about your business, you are excited about it. But are you really conveying what you do, what you have, and what you bring to the table? And do really people understand why you care so much and why they should care that you have the solution to their problem? Well, I'm here to help you with that. As a master storyteller, I can help you with your stories and spin them in such a way that they are intriguing and fascinating. People want to listen to you talk about your business. That's why at the Genius is Common movement, I am the master executive coach and professional training ambassador. That's my genius. And genius? Oh yeah, it's common.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business lifecycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning special that would come on, and I was there with Geese and Tex and Meadowlark Lemon. Remember the show? Well, I had a great time. And I have to say a huge, huge thank you to all my fans out there. Thank you for all the years of support. I went on from the entertainment industry. I started getting into producing and directing. And now, hey, here I am. I'm a studio executive here in Burbank, California at 2526 Studios. I have to say, it's been pretty good, but the best is yet to come. Please stay encouraged, keep reaching for your dreams, and never forget that genius is common. Remember that. Genius is common. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter how tough the road may get, keep striving, keep reaching for your dreams, and always know that you are worth it. Everything that you put into yourself, everything good that you pour into your life, you are worth it. And when the times get tough, when things don't go exactly right, it's okay. Dust your shoulders off. Stand up strong. And remember, genius is common.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpo.com. blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Genius is common. And my genius is I'm a visionary strategist.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Tabitha Russell. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Mr. Jerry Smith. He is a CEO, gospel music programmer, teacher, visionary, and entrepreneur. At the age of 12 years old, Smith knew that radio was the career he was called to do. 7 years later, at the age of 19, he was on the air in college at Central Connecticut University as DJ Hollywood on then 97.9 WFCS FM, the college campus radio station. In addition to Smith's love for radio, Smith has a passion to help bring people together and help them enhance their lives through motivation and information. Smith always stresses the message, knowledge is power, and the more you know, or the more we know, the more we grow. Welcome on today, Mr. Jerry Smith. You're on mute. Mr. Smith credits his vast knowledge in the broadcast industry with being taught by great programming minds on his ascension to being regarded as the top gospel programming mind in the industry. Smith credits Jim McManus, both John Stevens and Henry Hinton, David Horn, Dick Shannon, Alan Sneed, Don Kelly, C.Y. Young, Jay Michaels, and Jeff Majors. Welcome, Mr. Smith. How are you today?
Thank you. My apologies. The eyes aren't as strong as they used to be. I did not realize I was on mute running my mouth. But what I said was, thank you for that kind introduction. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving and a beautiful and awesome Thanksgiving Day weekend.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing. I had the opportunity to travel and go see family. It was awesomely amazing. So let's jump right into this conversation on today. I'm so excited just reading your bio about how you have a love for the music industry. So tell me a little bit about the services that you provide.
Yes, so I do multiple things. I'm now in my 39th year in radio and a little bit of television sprinkled in as well. And what my company does is actually what I've been doing all my career, and that's really helping people. So one of the things that I do, Dr. Russell, is I help people with their radio station to put on a quality product, to attract listeners, to listen for long periods of time. And usually that formula translates to earning more revenue through selling commercial advertisements by getting high ratings. Also, what I've done for 30 plus years is offer advice to artists on how to get radio airplay. Being an insider looking out, it's a lot different than being an outsider looking in. And getting radio airplay is extremely difficult. And so I try to explain to artists the best path, 101 on to have success in getting radio airplay. And it really boils down to a great song and the quality of that song, the production, the vocals, the backgrounds. It's a whole lot to it. With technology today, a lot of people can go in their basement and build a studio and record some things, but they don't realize that they're competing against thousands of other songs and artists that are very good at it. And when you compare something that's not done in excellence and with great production, whoever's evaluating the music can hear the difference in 20 seconds. That's all it takes, is whether it's a good song or a bad song in 20 to 25 seconds. So I help people to navigate that and stress the importance of really, really getting a return on their investment by doing things at a high level. Also, one of the things that I do is I help people book talent for events like concerts, workshops, preachers, speakers, outdoor festivals. That was something that I did for the company that I worked for nearly 19 and a half years. And when I launched my own company, I started to do that. And another thing that I do so much, Dr. Russell, I really do. Another thing that I do is I put on workshops and seminars. I mentioned that for over 30 years, I give artists instructions and counsel on how to navigate the business of radio and records. Well, I do workshops as well to help them. So that's a face-to-face. Most of the times I talk to people over the phone, but since launching my own company, I put workshops on. And not only for that, God put on my heart, and first and foremost, I forgot to do this. I give God the glory, honor, and the praise for all things because all blessings flow through him. But I also, God put on my heart to do some seminars for the youth, which you guys have a great platform to help them with their education. And I encourage people watching and listening to please sow into this amazing thing to help our youth further their education. They sometimes need that help. And we as a community need to be there for them. So please, please donate whatever God puts on your heart to donate to help these young men and women with their books and tuition and computers. Please, please help out. But I want to do something for the youth. I want to do something for men. I want to do something for guys who are recovering from substance abuse as well. The thing with the youth, I used to be an athlete like Dr. Kelly, played basketball in my younger days, both in high school and college. Also, I was a soccer player. That got me into college, a scholarship to play soccer at Central Connecticut State University. And also, I was an amateur boxer, which really afforded me some great opportunities to travel all across the country and box. I was the captain of our college boxing club. We weren't really a varsity sport, but we were a club. So education is really, really important to me for the youth because I know what it has done for me. But I want to do something for young athletes, both male and female, because a lot of times they just focus on the sport and not the education piece. And there's so many young men and women who are so talented, but they don't really give the education part the attention that it deserves. So I want to bring in some former pro players, football, basketball, to talk to them about the importance of education, and not only the students, the kids themselves, but their parents as well, because a lot of times mom and dad are gambling on that child making it to the pros, the NFL or the NBA. And if that doesn't happen from an injury or their grades were not good enough, then everybody's dreams are crushed. So to just make sure that they know to give that education part as much attention as the athletics. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
I will say that was amazing. I also know that it's good that we diversify ourselves, right? And that we have a lot of things to offer people. So I can remember having a little bit of a career in radio and helping with the production side of things. So tell me this, and I didn't know at the time that I even had the voice for radio. So how did you get into the field?
When I was 12 years old, God put radio in my heart. People told me I couldn't do it, wouldn't do it. Now, I come from a humble beginnings, the projects of High Ridge Gardens in Danbury, Connecticut, right on the New York state line. And, God put that in my heart. It took me a minute really to understand it when I became an older person, and God told me to share my story, my testimony, because I didn't tell people I was from the hood. I didn't tell people there was domestic violence in my home, substance abuse, and I've seen everything that a kid shouldn't see. But God said, there are so many young men and women that I have great plans for that are being told that they can't do this and they can't do that, just like you. But look what I've done for you in your life and how your career turned out. So I started being transparent and sharing this story. But to answer your question, when I was 12 years old, God put radio in my heart. Really, I did it to meet the girls and the music and the concerts and all that stuff. That was what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking that God would get the glory out of my life. I didn't think I would be honored by our president, our chief commanding officer. I didn't think, or realize I was going to win all these awards and work with all these amazing people. But that's what God put it in my heart. And ever since I was 12 years old, I just pretended I was on the radio. Not 7 years later, when I was 19, I was on radio, college radio, Central Connecticut State University, DJ Hollywood. Never been to Hollywood in all my life, but that was one of my dreams. And from there, it just kept going and going and going. And now I'm celebrating over, approaching 40 years as a professional radio broadcaster. I don't even count my college years in radio, which was about a year and a half. So I've been doing this for over 40 years.
That is amazing to be able to say that you've been doing any one thing for 4 decades. All right. So can you tell me, for somebody that's looking potentially to get into the industry today, because I'm sure quite a few things may have changed since you got into the industry. What is something that a person can do today to get into radio?
It has changed so much, Dr. Russell. When I first started, it was, and you mentioned your voice, and you have a very beautiful voice. You have
Thank
a
you.
perfect radio voice.
Thank you.
But that's what it was. That's how you were evaluated, is on your voice, your enunciation, how well you communicated. And now it's more like just who you are and your personality and your voice. You don't have to have the perfect radio announcer's voice. When I first started, Dr. Russell, they told us to speak from our diaphragm and enunciate and project. Now just be you, because that's how we communicate and that's how we talk. We just talk normal to one another. And so that works in radio. Maybe 10 years ago, I would tell people to start off on a small station like an AM or FM, well, a small AM station. My first professional station was a little AM station. And that was a great place to cut my teeth. I eventually outgrew them. They kicked me out and said, "You've outgrown us. You can make more money than us." So I always told people that, but it's even easier now. Because you can launch your own internet radio station. It's harder to get a job, sadly, in terrestrial radio because there's so much syndication, so much automation. Radio companies now are looking to cut the overhead, keep expenses down. So getting a job as an on-air or part-time personality is a little more difficult now than it was prior to COVID, just being 100% transparent. But the cool thing is internet radio will allow you to do whatever God put on your heart, your dreams. It's very inexpensive to launch your own radio station and cut your teeth and just improve as you go along. But it's still not impossible to get on an AM or FM terrestrial station. That's what we call those stations, where they have the frequency is on the dial. But to me, it's the same formula. So I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting as well. And the Connecticut School of Broadcasting teaches you hands-on experience. You don't have to have a whole bunch of books. You don't have to do this. They just throw you in the fire. They coach you. They teach you how to front sell, back sell, set an appointment. This is all industry lingo. And you just do it real time. You could do that with internet. And then you can take your air check tape to a terrestrial radio station, an AM or FM station, and said, this is what I sound like on the air, and potentially get hired. So there's still opportunities if you do want to get on, AM or FM station, but it's just a little more difficult than it was in years past.
Wow, wow, wow. Yes, I do realize that there's a lot of competition out there. I inadvertently got picked up by a radio station. I was a salesperson at the time, and the owner of the radio station came in and was talking with the owner of the store that I was working in, and was like, let's do your next commercial, and was saying that they were listening to me as I was talking with someone else, and they had their back turned to me. And they said, well, why don't you let her, give her a try? I went in there to do a commercial, and then eventually got on the station and stayed there for a while and became the producer. However, I know that stuff like that just doesn't happen, right? For most people. And like you were saying, that you can start on a small AM station or something like that. It was actually an AM gospel station that I got my start, and later took that to do some other things. So who would you accredit to helping you to get to where you are right now?
There are so many people on that list. I was blessed to just work with some of the top minds in radio and didn't know it, especially in the beginning of my career, because I was, wet behind the ears, snotty nose, you know what I mean? And I almost got fired from my very first job. I was only there for 2 weeks. The reason I almost got fired, because I was breaking the format. They trained me, they taught me before I went on the air of what I was supposed to play. But remember, my first stint in radio was college radio, and DJ Hollywood was doing whatever he wanted to do and playing whatever he wanted to play, however many times he wanted to play it. But when I was in a structured, and they hired me as a professional broadcaster, which I didn't realize it at the time. I was just a DJ, and the DJs do what they want to do, just like I did in college. So Mr. Jim McManus, to answer your question, was the very first one. Jim McManus was the general manager of the radio station, and he called me in his office. He said, how long have you been doing radio? And I said 2 weeks, because I didn't count my college radio. And he said, so you know more in 2 weeks than I do in 25 years. Dr. Russell, I knew exactly where that conversation was going. I knew I was doing wrong. I wasn't following the format. You mentioned your first job was on a gospel station. Well, mine was too. And I was supposed to play Southern gospel, which I didn't like. I was supposed to play this kind of gothic chanting Christian music. I didn't like that, so I would skip that. All I wanted to play was the black gospels, the whinings, Shirley Caesar, that kind of stuff, and contemporary Christian. And so I only played those 2 categories out of about 7 or 8. And he said, son, when you're on the radio, we're not what we're selling to our listeners or our advertisers. He said, we hired you as a professional broadcaster to execute the format. And so I said, but my listeners don't like that music, sir. Now, 2 weeks, and I'm telling him out of his station what my listeners don't like. So he said, listen, we hired you to be a professional broadcaster. We trained you. So you have 2 options. One, you can do it the way that we train you and continue to work here, or after this meeting, you can go home. I'll do it the way you train me, sir. Dr. Russell, I had no bass in my voice at all. No bass. And then a year and a half later, they kicked me out. They said I outgrew them. I could do really well, make more money at this. I was really, really good. And I was like, are they just telling me that, or do they really mean it? But that's, he's one. John Stevens, Dick Shannon, um, Jeff Majors is another one. Jay Stevens, Alan Sneed, Don Kelly. I attribute a lot of my success to those great, great radio minds. Dick Shannon, I think I mentioned Dick. Dick Shannon saw something in me that I never saw early in my career. And when he told me that I was going to go and do some great things, when he was promoting me, when I wasn't at this radio station very long, I was like, what is this man talking about? I didn't know at the time that he was one of the top radio programming minds in the country. Now, I didn't mention this, that I worked in, my first station was gospel, but I also worked in rock, classic rock. I worked in adult contemporary, which was playing Barbra Streisand, Kenny Rogers, Kenny Loggins, Journey, Jethro Tull. I mean, I worked in every format except country music and jazz. So I have a really diverse background, and all of these folks, both black and white, supervisors and program directors, were saying all this stuff to me, and I was like, why is everybody saying this? And they saw more in me than I saw in myself, and everything that they said really came into fruition. And for that, I'm just grateful that they sewed into me.
I love it. I love it. I can remember, of course, my first interaction with being on a station. I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. So let's talk about paying it forward. What's one of your success stories of somebody that you helped to get into the industry, and or either that have benefited from the services that you offer?
Great question. Well, the biggest success story is a young man named Richie Ballard. Richie is out of Greenville, North Carolina. And I have this thing to teach people and to help them. So Rich was a teenager, and he was one of two people that I took under my wings. And I used the Connecticut School of Broadcasting approach with these two people. So when my shift was over at work and it was towards the end of the day, they reached out to me and said, hey, I have an interest in radio. Can you help me? So I brought the guys in, and I would let them hands-on learn how to do radio. Rich went on to work in a couple of radio stations. He ended up coming to Raleigh, North Carolina, going to NC State. He did some radio in the market, but in the marketplace, but he also wanted to be an engineer. His thing was tinkering with stuff. Rich went on, he got bored with engineering, he got bored with radio. He went on to open up Verizon franchises and became a multi-millionaire. I mean, you just Google Rich Ballard. I think it's Ballot, and you guys can read up on him. And he's the biggest success story. I helped some other people who had zero radio background, same approach, brought them in the studio, taught them how to front sell, how to back sell, how to set an appointment, helped them put together an air check tape, and all of them got jobs with zero experience. One of them was with KISS 102 in Newberry, North Carolina. And the program director said, wow, we want to bring you on part-time. How long have you been doing radio? And he said, I've never done radio. And the guy was like, BK Kirkland, that's the program director's name. He said, well, how did you put this tape together? It sounds like you've been on the radio forever. And he said, Jerry, my name back then was Jerry Jam. He said, Jerry Jam helped me put it together. And he said, wow. He said, well, I'm still going to bring you on, but it sounds like you've been on the radio forever. And
wow.
There have been about 5 or 6 guys, zero radio experience, that I helped to get a job. And those are some of the success stories.
That is amazing that you were able to take them. But I believe that those are sometimes the best learners as well. Nobody that have, they don't have any preconceived habits or anything like that. So tell me about one of the obstacles that you've had to overcome in the industry since you've been doing this.
Wow. Well, I would say one of my toughest challenges was as I was ascending in my career. Um, and this isn't easy to talk about.
Mm,
My heart was in urban radio. And when I was in white radio, they pushed you out of the nest. They're like, you've outgrown us. You need to get out of here. In urban radio, it was a little different. And part of the reason it was different was because of consolidation. So what happened in the late 80s was radio companies were able to buy more properties in the market. So before, prior to that, you can get mad at your job and quit and go across the street and get hired. In the late 80s, you couldn't go across the street because they owned you too. You know what I mean? So in urban radio, the program director would teach you enough to do a good job, but they wouldn't teach you to be equal to them or above them. They definitely didn't want to push you out of the nest, and they didn't want to be replaced by you. So the challenge that I had was people could see my potential, just like the white boys, and could see where my career was going to go. And they were threatened by that, even though I would never take anybody's job. I would never do anything callous, no crab in the barrel, because I'm a God-fearing man, and I know God doesn't like ugly. And if I do something devious to somebody else, well, that's going to happen to me. So a lot of times, because of my potential, people made things difficult for me to either run me out or try to get me out because they were threatened. And that was the most challenging. Some of the people that tried to get rid of me ended up getting rid of themselves. That's just how God worked it out.
Mhm.
I was still able to continue to ascend, get promoted. My salary continued to grow and increase. But those were the obstacles. I had one guy who flat out told me, he said, man, we went, I quit after, I think it was 2 weeks. I just couldn't take it anymore because it was just unbearable. And I didn't want to work in that type of environment. And he ended up leaving. We both worked in Greenville, North Carolina. He ended up getting a job, and he was really good at V103 in Atlanta, Georgia, which is the giant urban radio station in that marketplace. And he and I somehow came across each other, during our journey. He said, man, I didn't treat you right. I was just so threatened.
Wow.
Wow. So talented, handsome guy. He just had the full package, and I was just insecure. And I know I was wrong for, trying to keep you down and squashing you and treating you the way that I did. That was very big of him to say that, but he was just one of several that I had that kind of situation with.
Wow. I will say thank you for sharing that with us, as difficult that may have been at the time. Seemingly, the more that you're in an industry, the more that you learn over the course of time. So in our few minutes that we do have left here on today, tell us something that people would not know about you.
Oh, wow. Okay. But before I answer that question, just to piggyback what I just said, anybody who's dealing with that situation, you got to maintain, you got to be strong. You got to believe in yourself and know that nobody can stop you. Whatever God has for you is for you. And no human being is greater than our God that can keep you from whatever your destiny is and whatever your purpose is. So just continue to believe in yourself, do things the right way, and just keep trying to be the best you and be the best at what you do. Also, don't forget to sow into these young men and women. All right. The purpose of this Black Business Expo Olympics is to help our young men and women further their education. So please, I don't want to go too much longer without encouraging you to sow into them. The thing that people may not know about me, I talked about I was an amateur boxer, but a lot of people didn't know that or don't know that I used to train dogs for obedience, tracking, and protection. It was so much fun. German Shepherds, I used to put on the big gear and let the dogs attack me and so on and so forth. I know how to teach a dog to sit, to lay down, and to be obedient. That was a big hobby. I'm a big dog lover, and I love German Shepherds. That's my breed of choice.
That is superb. I mean, like, it sounds like you're really well rounded. So, what do you like most about what you do now? What do you like the most?
You know, I love radio. And as I mentioned, 12 years old, I'm thinking about the girls. Girls love the DJs and the free music, concerts and stuff like that. But I really have a heart for community, blessing less fortunate. I come from humble beginnings, and I don't forget that. I'll never forget where I came from. I'll never forget the people that helped me out. My father passed when I was 9 years old. He was just a week before his 30th birthday. My mom raised 4 knucklehead boys all by herself. And some people helped her out to help us. So I just have a heart for community, giving back, and especially for less fortunate. That's really what I'm known for. God's blessed me in all avenues of my life, but just being, using my platform to be a blessing to others.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, how can people find out more about your business and how can they contact you?
Yes, very simple. My name, Jerry Smith, 03.com. That's the JAS Consulting and Entertainment website. If you're an artist and want to submit music for airplay consideration for Favor 97.3, you can reach me there. If you're a small business and interested in advertising on Favor 97.3, it's designed for small businesses, so it's relatively inexpensive to help you get some marketing and the word out about your products, goods, and services. Same website, jerrysmith03.com. It has my phone numbers and and all the information you need to find me.
Awesome. This has been an amazing pleasure on today. I will say that continue to keep going forward. I know that you will put him first in all that you do, and he will continue to send you back the blessings. So thank you so much for all that you are doing. And I will say this last thing, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App on the screen, $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. And we want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for their generous donations. And they are NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Rich Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, Margie McLean Foundation, Inc., Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melaine Shania Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.